Përshëndetje motra.
Mirë se keni ardhur në Trime podcast.
My name is Lejla.
My name's Leonarda.
Welcome
home.
Leo. E kena
Lejla.
qartë Albanian TikTok.
I know.
Që një muj.
I know.
What is going on?
4 episodes.
4 episodes. This is going to be our 5th one.
Yeah.
What happened? How did we do this? God. Insane. Like the impact that it's had on the women who have already come forward into the community is so beautiful.
You know, my favourite thing is when you receive messages, not just on Trime, TikTok and Instagram, but it's also our personal pages where they come forward and they're like, oh, Leo or Lejla, I love this. I love how you said this. I was even looking at YouTube and someone left a really nice comment and just said, on the refugee one, I went through the same thing, and it's so nice to know that someone else went through the same thing. But yeah, it's made my heart really, really full.
Yeah, it's almost this sense of like so many women and so many other people as well are coming forward, just being like, at last.
Exactly.
Finally, the space is here and it's safe
needed
for us. And it's not just the impact that it's had, you know, just on the people in the community now. It's also the impact it's having in our personal lives. Massively. I don't know about you, but mine, like, I have a very critical mind, right? So I came into a podcast very critical, and I have my own lived experience. So I bring that a lot to the podcast. I have a lot of childhood trauma. I bring that to the podcast, right? What I wasn't expecting was in such a short space of time for it to have this really positive effect in my life. And like today, for example, it was my mum's birthday.
Yeah.
And my relationship with my parents, you know, has been difficult, and in particular my dad. But with my mum, we've tried to keep the relationship going as strong as it possibly can be. But I work so much, so I don't really see my mum often enough. But today was her birthday, and I thought, you know what, I don't care by hook or crook. Today I'm going to take her out for her birthday. I set aside some time before we came to record, and I took her out for lunch. And sometimes I struggle, like I you know, there's a lot of trauma, there's a lot of like things that happened that I have been working through most of my life in therapy. And so, yeah, I think sometimes being around family can be triggering, and it's something that not a lot of people want to admit. I will admit that being around family can be triggering. They make comments, they make remarks, they say things that maybe aren't directed at you in particular, but it brings up certain emotions from the past. Anyway, today I took my mum out. It was the best time I've spent with her in I don't know how long.
That's so nice.
You know, we were just sitting there having food, went to a Turkish restaurant, and we were sitting there having food. And my mum's really picky. Like, you can't take my mum just to any restaurant because she'll,
so
like, again, gurdi, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so there's only certain food that she will eat, and I know that Turkish food is one of them. Like, they are the most hospitable people, and their hospitality is like unmatched, 10/10. So I knew my mum would be happy because I just wanted her to be happy. So I knew
it's her day.
Happy. Yeah, exactly. And we were just sitting, we were talking and just catching up. And something that I hadn't told my mum, because I was really nervous about her reaction, was that I'd sold my house and moved in with my girlfriend.
How did she react?
Like,
what was her face like?
She was just like, okay, Chikayama, what makes you happy?
That is progress.
Listen,
I've got goosebumps.
Like, you have no idea, like, how far I've come in certain aspects of like my lifestyle with my mum, because my mum has always been by my side. Like, I love her, I adore my mum. And my mum is the most loving person ever. And so obviously my choices in life haven't lived up to my parents' expectations. That's for sure. But I always knew ultimately the choices I was making in life were not harmful.
No,
right?
Exactly.
But I know that it's been a struggle for my mum to accept my lifestyle, to accept these choices. But ultimately she loves me and she knows that I'm happy. And I think she's had to see that over time, to see that happiness radiate through me. And she's seen that I really am thriving. And she just said, she was like, okay, Chikema, just what makes you happy? As long as you're safe and Bella's safe. And I was like, Mum, like, this is the happiest I've ever been in my whole entire life. And not just happy, but I'm at peace.
Yeah.
Like, this is the first time that I feel like I don't have to fight. Yeah. I'm in a relationship with someone who's so loving, so caring, so safe. And like, I'm raising my daughter like with so much freedom as well. And I feel like life couldn't get any better right now.
Yeah. Don't you think that the older our mums get, I think the more progressive they become. I think once you start living the life you want and your parents didn't actually really like that for you in the beginning, especially our mums. And then when you're living it and you're just like, I'm doing it anyways, they do tend to become slightly more
Well, I think
open.
a lot of the restrictions that our mums try to place on us come from fear.
Yeah.
They come from the fear of what their husbands will think or do, whether they're going to be violent and abusive, because they know that whatever the children do, if the husband isn't happy with it, ultimately they're going to be
mum's fault.
Yeah, it's going to be her fault, even though we know it's not her fault.
Yeah.
We know that when people are abusive, it's the abuser's fault, not the victim's
Yeah.
fault. But a lot of, I think, the women in our community do have that because
Yeah.
they know that those violent practices, ultimately, that men hold so much power and control in our community, and it's not used in the right way. It's used for violence and abuse. And I think that fear comes from that. So when our mums are like, muskudzom medal medial, muskudzom me shkun nightclubs, muskudzom me pee, muskudzom me botatua. Like, my mum's number one thing, I think of all the choices I've made in my life, my mum hates my tattoos. Like, even today, because every time I see her, I've got new tattoos.
Yeah.
I think like when I started getting my hands tattoos, she was like, cool, like that, she's finished. Do you know what I mean? And like today at lunch, she was saying, Chikayam bon me tattoo, and I was like, Mum, like it's my life. Like, I'm an adult. I have to say this to my parents sometimes, like to my mum, like, I'm 35.
Yeah, you have to.
I'm 35. I have my own home. I have my own career. I'm financially independent from everybody. No one can tell me what to do. Like, I make the own rules and choices in my life, right? But to her new stance on it now, and I love her for it so much, because I know it's just because she cares. And her new stance at the moment is, she said, I didn't know, like, the needle, it might make you sick.
Because she probably worries about it.
Yeah, but I thought it's funny that she stopped trying to say don't get the tattoos because you look scary with them, which I don't look scary with them. But she's now changed her tune to say don't get the tattoos because they're going to make you sick.
But it's just picking at stuff to try and sway you. That's probably why she's doing it.
I just think,
mums.
You know, watching my mum this afternoon, just enjoy her time with me and Bella. She doesn't often get to do that. My mum has had a major loss this year. We lost my aunt, my Tiza, and my mum and her were like, they were best friends.
Yeah.
That they were literally like, there were soul ties between them. And, you know, they experienced a lot in their childhood growing up together, and they were just each other's backbone. They were each other's like kradia.
Yeah.
And I knew when my aunt died, it was going to be a really heavy loss for my mum. And so my mum has really struggled with the grief of that. And so my mum has just had so much going on this year. So it's been one crappy thing after the other. They brought the cake out, because I just said, I was like, oh, it's my mum's birthday. And so they brought a birthday cake out for her, which was so lovely. And they put on like a birthday song. And my mum just started crying.
Oh.
She was like, I'm so happy.
That's just so
I know.
nice.
And she just started crying. And I was like, Mum, what's wrong? She was like, no, I'm just really, really happy because I haven't done anything for myself in so long. And you and Bella have just made me feel so special.
Yeah.
And when she said that, I was just like, it brought it home.
Yeah.
Because I have so much distance in my life from people, because I just work so much. And then after I'm done working, I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
So I never have time to do anything social. Like, you know me.
I know.
Like, all I do is work. Like, there is no work-life balance, and it's awful. I need to sort it out.
And
like,
now you work even more.
And now I work even more, thanks to Trime. But today, seeing my mum really made me realise, like, that me and my mum have this really special, genuine connection. And I think from some of the conversations we've already had on the podcast about those kind of complex dynamics between mothers and daughters in our community has really brought home to me how much of an effort I keep needing to make. Like, there's so much more that I should be doing with my mum to continue that strong relationship and that strong bond that me and her have, because of my work, I haven't had a chance to actually maintain that. But today and the last month of doing Trime, it's had that really, really big impact on me. And I'm so grateful for it.
That's so good.
I'm so grateful for it.
I'm so happy for you.
I know, thank you.
I'm so happy for you.
But not just that, I don't know if you're feeling it, but I'm starting to feel a lot more connected to the community as well.
So am I. I feel more connected because I've got more women coming to me. And I think I'm also having so much more conversations with my cousins, with my husband, these conversations that, I've been with my husband 10 years. I've always had these conversations with him. But because of Trime, we're having even more serious conversations. And we're not talking about our marriage. We're just talking about the culture. And it's just like speaking to you, but it's having like a personal therapist right there next to me. But I can say with my cousins, we've got a group chat, and it's on my dad's side. And I know this is very like, I don't speak to any of my dad's side except for a few cousins.
Dude, don't mince your words. I love you for that.
No, because they treated my mum like shit. And I just don't think anyone that treats someone that's given birth to me like shit does not deserve not even 0.00 affinity of my time, whatever it is. That might sound stupid, but it is what it is.
It's not stupid. It's not stupid. You got your mum's back.
Yeah, I do.
To me, that's not stupid.
Yeah, I have my mum's back through and through because me and her went through so much together. It's as if we both grew up at the same time. And my mum sacrificed so much for that side. And, they turned their back on them and I turned my back on them. So calm as a bitch. Anyways...
You're going to get us cancelled.
No.
Before we've even grown, Leah's going to get us cancelled.
No, I think everyone probably has the same experience as me.
When you've witnessed your dad's side of the family treat your mum like shit, all of a sudden you're like, you grow up and you're like, it'll go away.
Like, ugh. Yeah. But with my cousins, we are quite honest with each other. They all know my opinion, all of them, because I've told them. I don't shy away, and this is why my mum always says, don't get in debates with Leo because she does not sugarcoat anything. And I don't, because I don't have time. There's no time in the world to sugarcoat stuff. But with my cousins, since they've been watching the episodes, they come back to me and they're like, oh, Leo, I love this. I love Donatella. I love Amira. I love Lejla. And these are cousins that are all practicing Muslims. These are cousins that have gone to Hajj. Like, these are cousins that are very... connected with religion rather than culture. So for me it was so refreshing, and that's I can gladly say that has just changed my perspective and the love I've got for them. It's just strengthened us so much more because we're having conversations about going back to the village and building a cabin so we can all get together with our kids, and it's just nice. It's nice to have those conversations, and none of us we don't have interest, like no cost per interest. It's just because of love.
Just pure. Yeah.
But Trime has changed my life completely. Everyone's seen this shift in me. They're like, Leo, you're glowing. You look so happy. And it's just this passion. Like, I'm just like, I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to fight.
Ready to fight the good fight. And it's funny because some of the best parts of our culture is the fact that we are collectivist, like that we do work so well as a community. We look after each other. We don't leave anyone outside. And I lost that. I lost that sense for such a long time because I was outcasted, and so now to feel that connection again has just been so beautiful for me.
And it's a healthy connection.
Absolutely, it's a healthy connection.
It's a healthy
as
connection.
Opposed to what it was before, where it was like out of fear. But this time it's a connection because I want it and I choose it.
Exactly.
And for me, like, that's just made such a huge difference. Like, even connecting with the queer Albanian community has been life-changing for me. Like, I've been looking through people's stories who are like following me on Instagram now. And now I'm like, if I go back to Kosovo, like, I've actually got potential friends to go out with.
Exactly. And that's, that's the nicest thing. I mean, from my perspective, when we put the post out about getting a hijabi woman, Albanian woman, on as a guest, and I saw so many people come through and interact with it, and that made my heart so warm, because even though I am connected and I've always been connected, I have never really, because I'm not close with family, with my dad's side. I'm close with my mum's side, but I keep a lot of people at arm's length. And, I don't really trust a lot of people because of that experience with my dad's family. I don't trust a lot of people. I've got like the tiniest circle of friends. And that's why I say I pick up my religion over my culture. But I'm so grateful that we are getting so many messages and we are being welcomed. And for the first time in my life, I feel like the beliefs that we have are not being criticized by everyone. Like, haters are going to hate. I don't care. Anyone well-educated and has a diverse cultural intelligence will be like, oh yeah, she's, these two ladies are speaking great things.
The reality is those comments just are so irrelevant
and boring.
But yeah, they're boring and they're so irrelevant. And I know that both of us are the same on this, like where we refuse to let that divert the intention behind Trime and divert us from doing what we set out to do. Because the important thing is the women and other people that are coming forward and actually sharing their experiences and being like, finally, I feel like I'm connected and a part of the community, because I felt so disconnected for so long. And that seems to be a reoccurring theme in the messages and in the comments, is that they felt that really big disconnection to their identity, to family, to cultural norms, the beliefs. And now they're like, oh, wow, like there are other people out there in the community that are just like me. And that's what's beautiful about Trime, is that when you are different to the status quo, what Trime has done, I think, for all of these people who are coming forward, is built our own table.
Yeah.
That was the point of starting Trime, was to build our own community, to build a new community where Albanian women and now other Albanian people feel like they finally belong somewhere.
Yeah.
And we built our own table now.
Yeah.
And no one can take that from us. And that's why it's so beautiful. I think that's why so many people have connected so quickly, because we've only been, tomorrow's our 1 month anniversary. So we launched our platforms on the 1st of August, and we've only been posting weekly since then. So 4 episodes, and we've got over 7,000 followers.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
That tells you everything you need to know. It's indicative of how desperate the need is for this safe space
100%.
For people who are just like us, for women who are just like us.
And we're also on that journey. I think, anyone that's watching us, as much as you are in this journey, me and Lejla are in this journey as well.
Absolutely.
Like, we are literally evolving every single day. And I think we are just becoming so open. Like the love that we are building for Trime just grows and grows and grows and grows.
Like literally by the hour.
And it's because of all these women and queer and, whoever, men that just want to support us. It's literally because of those people that me and Lejla have, first of all, the positivity, the energy, the drive to come every single time and to
record. Focus on what matters.
Exactly.
Which is the people who are in this community now, and the women who are coming forward are an inspiration.
Yes.
And they're the reason why we're doing this. And it's funny because I've been having these thoughts about this connection to the culture, to the community, and really I guess looking at myself from a bird's eye view and seeing what kind of what those misogynistic traits I might hold myself, and I've picked up on one.
Yeah.
And one trait I've picked up on is the fact that me, as an Albanian, lesbian, feminist woman, I act like a nuse at home.
Yeah.
I have a female partner. I still think that I have to be the nuse in the relationship. I think I still have to carry out those duties.
Yeah.
And when I say my partner is the most loving person, she's so patient, so calm, she would never be like, why didn't you wash up? Why didn't you do it? Never, ever.
I could never imagine.
Never. Literally, she is the softest, kindest person
very
ever.
soft-spoken.
I love her, I adore her. But I still have that, when she's at work and I'm at home, because I work from home and she works out of the home, every day I'm like, cool, dona mi loant, dona mi darken, so that it's all ready for her on time when she gets home from work.
It's funny, isn't it? Because I have the same thing. So I work in an office, my office is 15-minute drive. So I go home and my husband works into the night. So he'll come home, and when I go home, I'm like, okay, does mi lo postovat, I need to get the dishes done, I need to sheet, I need to robot, the bathrooms need to be cleaned, I need to scrub the windows, and I mean scrub with a cheek, because that's just how we did it. I need to the architraves, the skirting boards, the ceilings. I'm just literally when I get in there and I'm like, I have to do this before my husband gets home, because nuk po du me aj me gjithë shpin lumsh.
Yeah.
Like I don't want him to find the house complete chaos. But my husband has never in his entire existence ever said to me, why haven't you cleaned?
And
Ever.
this is my point. And now I'm realizing that this is something that I want to work on myself
Yeah.
with my therapist, because where is this coming from? Like,
Yeah.
I think I know exactly where it's coming from. It's coming from watching these relationships modeled in front of me my whole entire life.
And being trained.
Yeah,
to be an
absolutely.
author.
Being trained. Like, how dare I live a life that is true to me, that I thought goes completely against the grain. And actually, I still carry those things in my head that I need to be a certain way to be loved and to be respected, as if my value is just tied into that, as if my value and my worth is only tied into the service I can give to other people.
And I don't know if you feel this, but when someone comes to my house, my parents, specifically when my mum is an OCD cleaner. If family is watching this, she's still OCD. Like from the day you met her, she's still the same person. If my mum comes over, and she rarely does, but if she does with my dad, and she says to me, oh, Lejla, jag knatch. You know how much pride and satisfaction, and like I get this almost that happy hormone released.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I know
but
exactly
it's sad to say that, you know,
that we're looking for that validation outside of ourselves, because I guess that's what we were taught to do from childhood. Like, it was always about pleasing other people, making them happy all the time.
Exactly.
And actually you get to this part in your adulthood and you're like, no, fuck that.
Yeah.
I want to be happy. What about my happiness?
Literally.
What about my mental health? Like, it's like, that's why we titled the last episode, what about my mental health? Because we never ask women in the community these questions.
No.
That what we're constantly living day to day to make other people happy, so that we somehow feel like we deserve to be here. We deserve to be here. Facts.
Yeah. And
that's
also,
it doesn't matter what you bring, what kind of service you bring, like what you do in your marriage and your relationship. You deserve to be here.
And we are all Zoya. All of us, you know, Zoe. Like all of us. Because when I was younger, and this was like teenage years, you know, I was a clean freak. I still am a clean freak, because you carry that. I was the master for everything, because I took all of that from my mum to just give her space in her mental health. And everyone would be like, oh, çfarë durt paçtajki. Lumi aj që kam e të marr. How, like, I could never say that to my daughter.
No.
I could never.
No, because you're instantly, what you're teaching her is that you're only going to be, like, you're only worth that.
Yeah.
You're only worth that. And then
Exactly.
that man is going to be lucky to have you.
Yeah.
Like, well, what about just me, just as a human being? As if you're only worth that. And I ask myself this question, right? And I think about this question a lot when it comes to women in general, but in particular Albanian women, is how much for that need to be clean and have the home like saksalem, like, you know, everything in its place. Because I'm very much like that. I'm very much like a place for everything and everything in its place.
Yeah.
And again, something else I noticed, that these traits keep coming up in me the last month since we've been doing this, is since moving, it comes being lum, like it's upside down.
I know, every single day we talk.
Every day I'm stressed. I'm like, there's boxes everywhere.
And I've said to Lejla, I've said to Lejla, I'll drive down, because you know what it is? For me, in my head, I'm like, this is a challenge.
Yeah, but
and I'm gonna tack.
That what it has been is that I've had to create my environment to be completely clean, completely clutter free, to be minimalist as it possibly can be, because there's so much chaos in my brain.
Yeah, I'm the same.
And I wonder how many women in the community feel the same.
And I bet you a lot do. Yeah. I bet you a lot do, because women, scientifically, we think about multiple things at once. That's not just an Albanian thing. That's just a genetic kind of, you know, biological thing. And Albanian women have to think even more about it, because you've got kids, you've got bore, you've got cleaning, you've got this, you've got that, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, dorsma, sidomos, like in summertime, 4 a.m. in the morning, you know, all of this, your husband doesn't really help you with anything with the kids, and you have to organise all of that when you're going as a guest. And I can just imagine the clutter, like all this clutter,
the mental gymnastics you have to do.
Because I'm the same. If my house, if my kitchen, my worktops have nothing on them, because I'm like, it's fresh. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing on it. Even my toaster and my kettle.
Where'd you
I
put them?
put them
Your toaster
in the shop because I bought a shelf.
You know what's so funny? What's so funny is that actually moving in with Dan is I keep saying like we need a shop. We need. She doesn't understand. Like she doesn't understand that Albanian mentality of why we have so much storage for stuff. I'm like, no, we need.
Yeah.
Like, and I keep trying to explain to her like we need this. Like I'm showing her on a picture. This is what we need.
Basically a pantry.
Yeah, a pantry. Yeah, exactly.
No, I had to do this. So I bought. My husband, he literally just was like, "Ti je krejt e trend, like you're crazy." He kept saying to me, he was like, "Po pse qohet njëri well and mir edhe shkan edhe I bën kësi sane veç ty të kom po gruaja jam. Vetit kimi jap heart attack one day."
And
Literally.
facts, because actually Dan has echoed this to me a lot as well. Like she'll just come home and I've literally I did yesterday. I got so angry and stressed at the state of how much there was left to do that in between all of my work meetings and all of the stuff that we were doing, I was unpacking the boxes like a crazed maniac, taking the stuff from the ground floor all the way up to the attic. Like,
oh my God.
But when she comes home, she's like, I don't understand how you do it. And now I'm thinking, this isn't about cleaning.
No.
This isn't actually about the need. Of course, you should always be cleanly, right? Absolutely.
Hygiene,
and hygienic. But it's bigger than that.
Yeah.
It's a lot deeper than that. This is actually more about what's going on in my brain. That if my environment it's not safe. If my environment is hectic, my brain is 10 times more hectic and I cannot cope. I cannot function in an environment that's chaotic like that.
100%.
So everything needs to be clean. And that's why I think we have, as Albanians, we have this reputation of being so clean. And I'm thinking, how much of it is it about just being hygienic? Because that's basic. Everybody in the world should practice hygiene in the home. Please do that. And how much of it is about
control?
I
think it is control. Because growing up, my mum kept, and she still does, she kept the house as if no one lived there. Like bleach, the smell of bleach from 6 a.m. I even got to a point where I enjoy cleaning in the night now because my mum, 4 a.m. cleaning. Chakibo mum, ikum lo jomat. When? 2 a.m. Why?
It's funny because
okay.
You literally just reminded me of like when because we grew up on a council estate, and so when my mum would clean the house, like merai, which was every week, like we'd be hanging outside of the windows.
Our neighbours
in the
just
block
thought, what the hell?
Cleaning
what the fuck is going on?
This is just in case anyone's confused. This was me cleaning the windows, hanging outside of the windows in the block, cleaning the windows, and everyone would be like, "You Albanians are crazy."
Yeah.
And it was like, actually, it wasn't about being crazy clean freaks.
Yeah.
It was about thinking we need a calm, safe space for our brains.
Yeah, and I think that's what it comes down to, because I can't function. I genuinely cannot function when the house is not clean. And I mean, not just what you see, but I mean like one goat. If it's like just out of the ran, I'm
You're
like,
scaring me.
I'm just like, no, it has to go back. If my sink isn't cleaned a certain way, and I mean disinfected every single day, whether I use it or don't, does not matter. Like at all, we will not discuss, okay? Because that doesn't need to be, exposed. But it has to be cleaned a certain way. It has to smell a certain way. And my husband always says, I do not know where you've got cool energy, or like how can you enjoy it? But then I think to myself, when I clean, it gives me time to actually speak to myself. As weird as that sounds, it does. And then also that's the time that I listen to a lot of the Quran. So it just, honestly, it's like meditating.
So it's the only way, I guess, maybe you slow down for yourself.
Yeah, that's the only way. If I'm cleaning, slowing down, and I do it bit by bit, because sometimes 6 hours just on the go cleaning. And you would never, people would say, how are you cleaning for 6 hours? Because it's like, Meroy, you have to be cleaning everything.
Well, see, for me, it's a little bit different because I detest cleaning. I hate it. Like, my neurodivergent brain cannot, doesn't understand the concept of the organisation it takes to clean. So I've always had a cleaner.
Yeah.
Always. Because whilst I like everything clean and tidy, it's not me that does that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm always very open with people that having a neurodivergent brain for me means that I don't have the capacity to do that.
Yeah.
So I hire someone to do it for me, because otherwise it's never going to get done, and I'm just going to end up being stressed and more stressed and more stressed. So I don't know if a lot of Albanian families do that. I don't know. I genuinely have no idea if they do hire a cleaner. They think only I can clean it the way that I want to. But mine is a lifeline. Like, mine is like my household budget to have a cleaner in it is bare minimum. Like, that's an essential.
Yeah, that's so good though. That's because I said to my husband, I need to get a cleaner, but after she cleans, I have to clean. But I'm that type of person. I'm that type of person.
Back down to the control.
I am that type of person. And I always say to people, it's because I can only imagine the bacteria.
Yeah. So it's back down to the control.
Yeah.
And that's my point. That's why I'm thinking, like, I wonder how many women in the community feel like that. And again, this is because it sounds like we're just talking about cleaning forever. But it's not. It's actually the mentality. It's like the I guess the mental health, the mental gymnastics behind it, really. Yeah. The reason why we feel like we need to do that, because there's no point of you getting a clean. Don't waste money. You might just do it yourself.
No, I just
there's no point. And they're not cheap.
I know. Honestly, I just want one for the bathroom. Everything else, I've got like, I just want one for my ensuite because it's tiny. Yeah. That's the only place. Everything else I can do myself. And I think it's because growing up, it was the only time I could have my time.
There you go.
I could actually put my headphones in, and that was the only time I could do that. So I think that's where it stems down to.
Yeah, it links to, when you think back into those, I guess, like the younger years, the childhood days was, again, it was maybe the only time you got to yourself and the only time you got to maybe escape everything else. And it's a little bit frustrating, if I'm honest, to know that the only time an escape can happen for a girl or a woman is when she's
How sad is that? That's just sad.
To me,
I'm laughing, but it's
to me, and this is how I've set my life up. To me, escaping is going to a spa.
Oh,
I'll be honest with you. Like, if I've got clean, that's not escaping nothing for me. That's adding extra stress.
Yeah,
and it makes me sad. Like, I get really frustrated because I'm like, that's not escape.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I've gotten better only because I've grown with my husband. Only because he's like, calm down. I'm not going to leave you because you're not a cleaner.
To clean the sink.
And he will joke sometimes and he'll be like, I want to work as a cleaner. I'm like, you work as a cleaner and they're going to fire you straight away within 2 seconds. Like, please don't waste your money. Like, don't waste your money and time. It's just that escape, the control, the pride. You know, I get so much pride, but I get pride because I feel safe in my house. And when I look at how I've designed everything, you've seen it's all Islamic decor. It just gives me that sense of like
peace,
just peace. And I can sit down, watch something, and it only takes one thing to trigger me. It's always a break, like TV break. And in that 3 minutes, I'm like, okay, let's get the kitchen done. And that's where it starts. And then I don't stop.
And then it doesn't stop.
I don't stop.
And I'm very much like that with certain things. I think, I've got 3 minutes. In fact, I was supposed to start getting ready to meet you about 2:30, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you know what I was doing at 2:30? Building a lamp. Because I boiled the kettle to steam my nose because my sinuses are flaring.
Yeah.
I was like, what can I get done in these few minutes? Let me build a lamp. A whole hour later, I was still there building the lamp, focused. I was like, I now can't leave the house if I don't build this lamp.
You can't,
because I won't be able to concentrate. And all of this is still stemming back to that mental gymnastics. Because why do we get so hung up on those things?
I think it's also being the neurodivergent brain. You know, neurodivergence wasn't even something that was discussed until a few years ago.
For our community, absolutely not.
For our community.
Absolutely not.
So parents didn't really, no one, I wouldn't have known how to raise my own child being like neurodivergent. But now as an adult, you realise how your brain works is slightly different to a lot of people. You realise it's different to your siblings, to your own, to my own partner, because they will say stuff to you such as like, oh, when there's rain coming, you can, you know this.
I can actually smell the rain.
Yeah, I'm always like to my husband, And he was like, no, it doesn't say that on the weather app. And I'm like, Leote weather app. Like, it's going to rain. And then 30 minutes later, he'll call me like, Poo, koya non, and say match me, yeah. And I was like, it's not about me match, man. Like, I just know these things. He's like, but match him, come there. And I'm
I
like,
wonder
no.
how much of this, like, I think about this for myself.
Yeah.
And I wonder if other people can relate, because I do wonder how much of this mental gymnastics and mental health has affected my life in terms of that connection to the community.
Yeah.
And I ran away from certain things that happened in my childhood for so long until I literally hit a wall, and it was Trime.
Yeah.
I got so far in my healing journey, in my recovery journey. As I've said, I've been in therapy for the past 5 years, and I hit this brick wall and I couldn't get past it.
Yeah.
And I realized that if I do not give my inner child, and I call her little Lejla, if I do not give little Lejla the space to feel seen and heard, I'm never going to be able to move on in my life.
No.
And that's how Trime was born, really.
Yeah.
Was because I thought, if I feel like this, there must be thousands of women out there that feel like this.
And now I feel like we're both nurturing our inner child.
Absolutely. Like, I feel like the impact that Trime has, going back to what we were saying at the beginning, is that little Lejla, she has never felt so seen and heard as she does right now.
Yeah.
She's like, wow, like, we're really doing this. Like,
Yeah.
for everything that we suffered, we're really doing this. Like, we're really creating the safe space for other women who went through something similar or can connect in some way, somehow, or the queer community who can connect some way, somehow. And it's like the impact it's had, Trime has had on my own personal life has just been in the space of 4 weeks. Phenomenal.
And we finally have our own space.
Right?
That's what makes me so happy.
Yeah.
We've got our own space.
Absolutely. And I feel like where so many of us in the community maybe felt outcasted, and I hate using that term, like outcasted.
Or different.
Yeah. Now the space is here. Now Trime is here for everybody to feel connected back to their identity, back to their roots, back to the culture, back to the community.
100%.
And it's doing everything that it was supposed to be doing and more.
Yeah. And we can embody ourselves wholeheartedly.
Absolutely.
With unapologetically.
Unwaveringly, unapologetically. We've built our own table here with Trime now.
Yeah.
We built our community here. Crazy.
The sofra is just growing. Just growing. Bring your chiftili, bring your tapona. Please, someone bring everything. Someone bring flea and Peter. Massage.
Yeah, a proper one. Someone said on TikTok the other night. I said, I only want flea if it's outside on the fire. She said, I have a satch. I said, are you in the UK? I'm coming for dinner ASAP.
No, because how will we, like, we're so connected to, the food connects us so much.
Yeah.
Food connects me to Kosovo so much because it connects to history. It connects to, it's not, flea takes a lot of time to make. So does sorma, so does mantilla. It's the love, it's the care. It's just this, it's ours. So you almost feel proud. But yeah, my mum brought a whole satch from Kosovo in the back of her car.
I love that.
She brought it in. She was like, "Come here, flea, I'm a satch."
I love that.
And I'm just like, you do you. Like the other day she called me, it was a Tuesday, and she was like, "Lil, my hunger cheek am so come flea."
Oh my God.
And I was like, "Mum, are you not tired?" She's like, "Po, I'm tired, but hi, it's a flea, I was just like, Mum.
Talking about how connected our food makes us feel to our culture, we might have something up our sleeves.
Yes.
Very soon. If you are listening to this and you're thinking, I would absolutely love to be in the room with Lejla and Leo and meet all of these other incredible women in the community, we might just be hosting an event
100%.
in the near future.
Yeah, we are really working hard on it. And we cannot wait to invite everyone to allow people from the public, allow the
connection to happen,
to come and
to allow you all to meet each other, to meet us, to just feel that love in
Yeah.
real life, that this isn't just an online thing. Trime was never
Yeah.
just supposed to be online. It was always supposed to be in person as well.
Yeah.
I guess maybe we just didn't anticipate it moving so fast.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. And I'm so excited
Yeah.
for this because it's going to give me and you a chance to really connect with everyone.
Absolutely.
And I cannot wait to connect with all of these lovely, amazing people that support Trime. I can't wait to just connect with them and put a face to the name.
I know, me
and
too.
just hug everyone.
Yeah.
Just like
And it's crazy
you know?
because even like obviously right now we're just here in the UK, but all of the people who are messaging us like in America and they're like, oh my God, I hope one day you come to America. Like, and I hope so too.
So
I'm
do
manifesting it right here, right now.
Yes.
That we are going to go worldwide.
We will be going worldwide. Mark my words, this time next year.
So do we have a mailing list?
We do.
Sign up to our mailing list. Our links are in our bio
Yes.
on TikTok and Instagram.
Yes.
And we will keep you up to date with events.
Yeah. The mailing list is on our link tree. It will pop up for you to subscribe.
Yeah.
So definitely subscribe to that. We are working on getting our website up and running. And once that is up, just know we're coming for your dads.
And you know what? Yeah, everyone thinks that I'm the man hater here. It's so funny because I very rarely actually bring men into the conversation. Everyone thinks that I'm the one. I barely bring men into the conversation. Like I might touch on it a little bit, and everyone thinks that I'm the man hater. Everyone's like, Lejla thinks Albanian men are trash.
know.
Actually, if you listen to the podcast, what I said is I think there are no good men in general. The other one is like, we're coming for your dads.
And I'm the one that's married to an Albanian man. So, I mean, like, what did I say to you? You're the man hater and I'm the bullied. Like, that's just it. Like,
yeah, they've coined us that now. I happily take it.
Like, cool.
What's that thing they say? No publicity is bad publicity.
Yeah, no, exactly. Because it's just, it's either the comment that made me laugh that I sent to you was on the clip about I hate the word Norsa, and someone said, do you hate the word beliefs as well? I was like, what? And how is that supposed to make me cry? Like, give me a second, Lejla, because I think I might have to quit. Yeah, I just might. This is my notice.
I might have to quit because Castrioti 976 said I'm a bully or I'm a dirty feminist.
Literally, like.
Sorry to anyone whose name is Castrioti. It's the first name that popped in my head.
But yeah, we're not going anywhere. We're just, like I said, we're coming for your dads.
So if you don't want Leo to come for your dads, go sign up.
No, but we need to laugh because if we don't laugh, we're going to drive ourselves crazy.
This is really, really heavy stuff we're doing.
Yeah.
We're delving so deep into our own lived experiences, things that were traumatic for us, and it's really hard for other people to hear as well because it will be the first time that they've heard two Albanian women be so open about their lives like this. And like for us, it's a bit like if you don't laugh, you'll cry. And we do a lot of crying on this podcast as well. I've cried almost every. This has been the first episode I haven't cried.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why I haven't cried in this episode is because I'm so excited. I'm so excited for the impact we've already had. I've
got butterflies.
Yeah, and for the impact that I know we're going to create. And we just want to keep feeling connected to everyone listening to this, to everyone all over social media, to the community. And I think that's why it was really... like it felt like really important for us to talk about how this has changed our lives because as you said, like this is a journey for us. Like we're reconnecting back to ourselves
because we are just too I'm just a girl. I'm just a baby. We are talking about our lived experiences. We want to connect with the Albanian culture. We want to pass it down to our kids and we want them to keep passing it down and, preserve
to be
the
proud
beauty.
of it.
Exactly.
The thing is we want to pass on these beautiful sides of our community and culture and we want to be proud of it and we want our children to be proud of it and we want all future generations to be proud of it.
Exactly.
And more so than that, we want our women and girls to be safe.
100%. Exactly. And we just need to take that power back.
Absolutely.
From your dads.
And we hope that connection Oh my God, Leo is really coming for your
Sorry.
dad. Leo is absolutely coming for
I don't know what the hell's going. It's because you bought me. Layla bought me a Coke, and that was her first mistake. Because now I'm on high.
ADHD
I'm
is
high
out
on
to
sugar.
play.
I'm high on sugar. And to think that we've been working literally non-stop and having
Oh my
little
God.
sleep, and we've still this much energy.
it's
Na
crazy.
nema jinak što like
Gosh,
tluit.
So listen, our beautiful Trime
Te krim që
community.
të zeja.
Before Leo comes for anyone else, we are just so grateful for you, like for being here, for finding us, for welcoming us with open arms,
100%.
for being open to this, for understanding the mission behind Trime. And we just can't wait for this to grow, and we can't wait to get to know you more, and we can't wait to keep continuing to connect with you.
100%. This is, we can't wait. And I can't express enough that this is for all Albanian women. Doesn't matter what kind of lived experiences you've got.
So don't forget to follow, like, comment, subscribe across all of our social media platforms. We love reading your comments. We love interacting with you. We read our messages as well. Keep putting forward these incredible women that you think will be great for the podcast, whether it's coming here to the studio to record or whether it's on TikTok Live, if they're like, transnational. We're so open to it. So thank you so much for joining us for this episode. We'll see you in the next one.